A former Frankfort detective, the focus of several of our stories on police accountability, is now telling his side. Larry Guss Curtis hopped from one department to the next after a history of questionable on-the-job behavior.
His last stop was the Boyle County Sheriff's Office, which fired him. But Curtis says he did nothing wrong, and the Kentucky Law Enforcement Council found there wasn't enough to revoke his police officer certification. Lee Searcy has tonight's LEX 18 Investigates.
Larry Guss Curtis says he feels like he's been characterized as Officer of the Year turned hellion. Those were his exact words when we sat down for this story. He had a lot to say, and I still had a lot of questions for him.
I want the full truth to come out about everything.
We've told you about former Frankfort police detective Guss Curtis and showed you his brazen police tactics.
I'm sorry. Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant?
No.
That's illegal.
Incidents caught on police body cam that were never investigated by the Frankfort Police Department, according to the personnel files we obtained.
Oh, I'm a little upset that you had lied to me. You must have forgot what I did for a living.
Now Curtis is telling his side of the story.
Initially, the information that was provided was half-truths, omissions, and complete lies.
There was this June 2023 incident when Curtis admits he sent another police agency in a different jurisdiction to help him with what he said was a criminal investigation, when really it was to collect on a debt owed to his father.
So here's your two options. You give Mr. Boston $525, or you cut a check tomorrow about 5 o'clock of $525, or I'm going to Mercer County Courthouse first thing Monday, and I'm getting a warrant for you.
I'll admit that there were some things I said to Mr. Johnson that I shouldn't have said.
Was that abuse of power in your opinion?
No, it wasn't. It was a bad decision of wording. I was fully investigated on that by the Frankfort Police Department. I actually self-reported that situation because I immediately...
It wasn't in your file.
Well, I've got it.
It wasn't in the file we received.
Stop
it wasn't in the file we received.
Stop the camera. Initially, and in the beginning, it was being investigated as a theft by deception by Fish and Wildlife.
Right, but why were you investigating it at Fish and Wildlife? Because, I mean, there's a conflict there, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I could have definitely went about it a whole different way.
Curtis gave me this letter he says is from a captain to then Chief Bowman, dated June 13th, 2024, after LEX 18 asked Frankfort Police why the incident wasn't investigated. In the letter, a captain stated that Curtis's behavior deviated from standard police protocol, but added he possessed the legal authority to conduct investigations under the Backups program. The letter went on to say there were no policy or legal infractions committed by Curtis, so the captain presumed the matter resolved. I asked Curtis if he thought his actions were unethical, because some law enforcement officials believe they were.
I can't speak for anybody else's opinions.
And, you know, when you said you must have forgotten what I do for a living.
I have already said that I take responsibility for what I said to Mr. Johnson.
2 weeks later came another incident that this year led to a $350,000 settlement to Kim Myers after she sued Curtis, the city of Frankfort, and the former police chief for excessive force and violating her civil rights. As part of the agreement, Curtis can never again work for Frankfort Police.
I did not go into a house simply on a regular well-being check. I felt that this child was in danger at that time.
A judge disagreed and dismissed all the charges against Myers and had strong words for Curtis.
Mr. Curtis had zero respect for the Constitution, for which he took an oath and swore to uphold. And quite frankly, I was appalled. I've never seen a video like that.
If I had to do it over, I would do the same thing.
Do you still want to be a police officer?
Absolutely. And the next agency that I go to, I feel like I'm going to be a great asset.
And why do you say that?
because I've always, for the last 13 years, I've done this job with honor and integrity.
And we're not done. We're still questioning the police accountability here. Departments are required by law to turn over information to the Kentucky Law Enforcement Council on pending internal investigations into officers who quit or are fired. Where's the accountability for departments that don't investigate their own like they're supposed to? More to come. Back to you.